Okay, so I took this trade on a demo account. This is simply a paper trade. I don't really know. Let me just try to explain to myself why I didn't enter this on a live account or on my funded or on my eval. Um, Here's the deal, really. I I'm working my 9 to 5 at the same time I'm trying to do this. So I'm trying to juggle two things. Mondays are especially hard because I have a meeting at 10 a.m. Like probably the worst time for a meeting. I would prefer it at 9:30 open. 10 a.m. a lot of times you'll see a setup, which we literally today 10:05 setup. It is what it is. It's something I have to deal with. I need to work a job to make money. I'm not consistently profitable trading yet. And even if I was consistently profitable trading, I'd still prefer to have some income that I can rely on outside of trading. So that would probably be a 9 to 5. Um, that being said, I had a 10 a.m. meeting. I can make the argument that this stopped me from entering on my evals. However, I was able to enter for a paper trade. I will say I had this already set up to the point where, again, I had it like this. So all I had to do when I saw us trading up here and we hadn't tapped this yet, all I had to do was click buy, and I just waited for my limit and it got triggered. I clicked that button while I was in my meeting. So like I'm looking at my other screen presenting, and at the same time I just quickly looked and I saw we inversed. Okay, cool, my limit's getting put here. I'm not taking it off until it gets triggered or we hit this first. Um that being said, I did not have um anything set up here. And I can't have anything set up here. Um because I'm not able to set my stop loss and my TP prior to my limit getting triggered on Top Step. So I didn't have anything set up here on the 5 minute. I didn't have a limit set. It just, I was, and again, this is why I'm looking to leave Top Step. I don't like Top Step X. I want to be able to trade through TradingView. Um, you can make the argument that I would have, well, I'm not even going to make the argument. Had I been trading through TradingView, directly through TradingView, I would have been in this trade. I would have made money. Regardless of me being in the meeting, I was able to set this up prior and I was good to go. It's that extra step I have to take because I'm literally presenting. Like I'm literally presenting at 10 a.m. I'm speaking. So there might be a bit of a pause in between where I could look at my screen and like click the buy button, but I can't take the time to set up a uh, a stop loss in TP. I know it would take an extra 2 seconds. I literally can't do it though. So I need this. I need to be able to trade on TradingView. Um, and that's really that. So that stopped me from being able to enter as I had a meeting at this exact time. Um, Obviously, this is a nice trade. I mean, literally zero drawdown, like literally zero. Um, Stop underneath the bodies of the candles. This would have been this would have made it so RR was shit, and I didn't feel the need to have us. If we were gonna go that low, then so be it. Stop me out. Um, what else? I would have obviously preferred us to inverse this 5 minute a little bit faster. It took us like 4 or 5 candles. However, when we did decide to finally inverse it, we definitely had a nice bullish candle here, which is nice to see. It wasn't some lackadaisical like half inverse with a giant wick up top. So that was nice. And yeah, TP was hit. Managed to have a nice paper trade out of it. Wish I could have been in with my evals. Tuesday I will be in the office, so I won't be trading. And then Wednesday through Friday, I will not have the same issue as far as meetings go, so that's good. I'll be able to work from home, and I won't have any meetings during trading hours, which is nice. The daily, let's just do a top down here. The daily doesn't really give you too much. Um, you can see as far as ES goes, ES is respecting its daily fair value gap here and having a nice push off of it. And Q is also having a nice push, but we actually inverse this daily fair value gap. So um, not really looking too much at the daily for NQ to get a bias. The 4 hour on NQ was also a bit weird. We were inside this 4 hour still, but I didn't. I was just gonna adapt to what price showed me. If price wanted to sell off, cool. I'll look for shorts. There was a ton of low resistance liquidity. There still is on the 15-minute here. But at the end of the day, we were trading inside this 4 hour without much resistance for, a while. So I figured that we probably could get a candle like this, and we ended up doing that. We ended up getting a nice bullish candle on open. Obviously still a little while until the 1 p.m. close. When at this point, if it did close, we would be inversing the 4 hour. We'll see how we end up closing. The 1 hour, again, doesn't really give us much. It shows the low resistance liquidity here. It shows where we were in a fair value gap on the 1 hour as well. I just wanted to see how price was going to react off of open. So off of open, we started to dump a little bit, but we filled both of these 15-minute fair value gaps, which I liked. We didn't just tap one and leave the other unfilled. Both were filled. And so then my next thing I was looking at was, okay, are we going to inverse these 15 minutes? And then, okay, we'll be coming for this liquidity most likely. If we hold them, then cool, we'll probably be going higher, which is what we did. We held them, we went higher. So 15-minute fair value gap being used as a place to bounce from, 5-minute entry, and that's the setup. Yeah, that what beats my mental up the most is that what beats my mental up the most is like, this is a trade that, yeah, this would have been part of my backtesting data. So now when I go and backtest this month at the end of January, I'll have this in my data and I'll be like, why didn't I take it? Oh, there's other factors outside of just me staring at the chart and being able to fast forward to the candles. I had a meeting at 10 a.m. I simply could not enter this on a evaluation account on TapStep. I couldn't switch tabs in time. I was literally presenting. I couldn't do it. So that kind of pisses me off, because now what could have been part of my data is just not, for factors somewhat outside of my control. It's a job. I have to do it. Hopefully Wednesday through Friday, when I see my model, if I see my model, they're winning trades. Hopefully they're not losers, because my model presented itself here and it was a winning trade, and you have to fucking balance it out. Like, I can't be missing winners and then taking the losers. It has to balance out. So a little bit annoyed, obviously, but it is what it is. Gonna journal this on top of, obviously, the video is my journal, but I journal in an FX replay as well. So I'll journal this, and yeah, call it a day. We'll see how we are the rest of the week, Wednesday through Friday. Won't be trading tomorrow because I'll be at the office. And yeah,